بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. First and foremost, Jazakumullah khairan for inviting me, for your good opinion, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this gathering a gathering of which is of benefit. And the best gatherings are those gatherings where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is remembered. Those gatherings where the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam we are reminded of, and some benefits inshaAllah that we can derive from the understanding of the companions Ridwanullah alayhim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with them. So we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost, and we thank the brothers that we have gathered together on this day, the last day of the 29th day of Ramadan, tomorrow being Eid, only a few hours left really for us to do and to share in the obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For this is inshallah khair upon khair. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us sincere in everything we do, and that our actions are in accordance to the sunnah. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the last part of Surah Al-Kahf, فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. Whoever hopes to meet his Lord, then let him do good deeds. And good deeds are not good unless they're in accordance to the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he doesn't commit shirk with Allah in anything. وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. With regards the worship towards his Lord, he doesn't commit shirk with Allah in anything. Whether it's major shirk or minor shirk, he's careful, because he knows that shirk nullifies all deeds. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah doesn't forgive that partners are associated with Him, and He forgives anything else besides that to whomsoever He wills. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَلَقَدْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ وَإِلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ بَلِ اللَّهَ فَاعْبُدْ وَكُنْ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. It has been revealed to you. Say to them that it has been revealed to you, as it has been revealed to those before you, that if you were to commit shirk, your deeds become null and void. They will become null and void. Haba'an manthura. They will become dust. So your salah will not benefit you, your prayer will not benefit you, your fasting will not benefit you, your hajj will not benefit you, your charity will not benefit you. If you were to commit shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your deeds will become null and void. And this is why we must always remind each other to be sincere in everything we do. Abdulilah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, from the elders of the Sahaba, he said, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, ayyu dhanbi a'zam, what is the most severest of sins? The Prophet ﷺ replied, and he said, أن تجعل لله ندا وهو خلقك, that you make with Allah a partner while Allah is the one who created you. So the worst sin that Allah will never forgive is that you associate partners with Him, that you commit shirk with Allah, that you call upon other than Allah, you rely upon other than Allah. That's the worst sin. Allah will never forgive that, and He forgives anything else besides that, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So shirk, we have to keep calling the people away from shirk and away from innovations. These are destructive, and calling the people to Tawheed and Sunnah. If you want security, this is where salvation lies. Keep calling the people to sincerity, being sincere in their worship, that their worship is only for Allah. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Say my prayer, my sacrifice, my life, my death, for Allah, the Lord of all creation, لا شريك له, who has no partners. وَبِذَلِكَ أُمِرْتُ وَأَنَا أَوْلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and that is what I have been commanded with, and I'm the first of the Muslims. So all of that for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, calling the people to that, and that is where salvation lies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Surah An-Nur, verse 55, where he mentioned about security will come and establishment of khilafah will come. And that's not the goal. That's a gift from Allah. The goal is to worship Allah. As Allah said in Surah Al-Dhariyat, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That's the goal. I've not created jinn and man except that they worship me. Except that they worship me. So in Surah Nur, verse 55, this is our da'wah. The da'wah is based on the Quran and Sunnah. And there's a methodology. And that methodology is in the understanding of the companions, may Allah be pleased with them. But this particular verse shows us the methodology in detail as well. And that is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised us security, promised us salvation, when He said, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمْ وَالَّذِي ارْتَضَى لَهُمْ وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. This is our manhaj, this is our da'wah, and this is where the promise of Allah comes. Allah's promise is to amongst those who believe. Amongst those who believe, He said, minkum. He didn't say all of them. The promise will come. Who will it come upon? Security will come. Who will it come upon? Amongst those who believe and do righteous deeds. That He will give them the khilafah upon the land. Khilafah won't come by putting an orange sticker on top of a lamppost, which Hizb ut-Tahrir used to do in the 90s. And sometimes they used to put it in the bridge. You know, if you're on a motorway, you come across a bridge, you think, how did he get there? You know, so much hardship to get to put an orange sticker, khilafah, as if that is the way of khilafah. Khilafah will come, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and that is not our goal, it's a gift. And security will come, and that is a gift from Allah, a promise from Allah. وَعَدَ اللَّهُ amongst those who believe and do righteous deeds. Sunnah. So Tawheed and Sunnah. That He will give them the khilafah upon the land. And He will change their state of fear to that of security. And He will make their feet firmly established upon the ground. And towards that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made pleasing for them. What is their condition? يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. They worship me alone and do not commit shirk with me in anything. So look, the da'wah is there. And if you look at the verses before and the verses afterwards, Allah mentions establishing the prayer. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions obedience to Allah and obedience to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is the condition for salvation and security. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned also, if you go to Surah Al-Furqan, right at the end of Surah Al-Furqan, Allah mentions, after He mentions those characteristics, descriptions of the believers and their beautiful traits, 13 traits, and we have translated it from one of the scholars who explained it, and it's called Ibadur Rahman, the Ibad of Ar-Rahman, the servants or the slaves or the worshippers of the Most Merciful. Their characteristics, what are they? Allah mentions about 13 of them. And then right at the end, the last verse, He said, قُلْ مَا يَعْبَأُ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاؤُكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't concern Himself with you if it wasn't for your dua. And in Tafsir Ibn Kathir, he said, دُعَاؤُكُمْ here means عِبَادَتُكُمْ. Because all of those verses before are talking about ibadah. So Allah won't concern Himself with you, won't aid you, won't give you victory, won't give you security, won't give you khair that you've been asking day and night, won't give it to you if it wasn't for your ibadah. Allahu Akbar. And look at those beautiful verses. وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا. They are humble, they're not arrogant, they don't look down upon people. They are humble to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are humbled by what? By the Quran and Sunnah. Ala fahm as-salaf as-salih. They're not arrogant to bring their own opinion, but I think this, and my opinion is that. Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma said, leave your opinion in your pocket. Yes, leave your opinion in your pocket. Because this deen is not based upon what I think and what you think. This deen is not based upon your intellect. Yeah, we're in Oxford. And there's so many people like to be intellectual. And you find those so-called intellectual people are the most unintellectual people. Because when they speak, you can see, subhanallah, that they come with gibberish. Yes, they say their intellect is so high, huh? Not all of them, but some of them intellect is so high that they end up saying we come from monkeys. You see? We come from monkeys. This is what they say. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam with his own hands. How does it come from monkeys then? So going back to the Quran and Sunnah, this da'wah salafiyya, da'wah to Tawheed and Sunnah is about submitting to Allah. This is what Islam is. الاستسلام لله بالتوحيد والانقياد له بالطاعة والبراءة من الشرك وأهله. This is what Islam is. Submitting to Allah upon Tawheed and complying to whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls us to, and leaving away shirk and what the people are upon. The people of shirk, what they are upon shirk. We leave that. We don't partake in that. Now, Tahir Qadri comes and cuts a Christmas cake with the Christians. What is this? Yes, you can live side by side with the Christians, just like the Muslims live side by side in Ethiopia with the Christians in peace and harmony, and inviting them to Islam. Allahumma barik. We don't cut a Christmas cake with him, because the Christmas cake signifies what? Signifies a belief. And that is, on that day they believe that Allah Azza wa Jal had a son, that Isa alayhi salam was born on that day. And we know he wasn't even born in winter. He was born when there were ripe dates falling from the tree, where Maryam alayhi salam was eating from those ripe dates. And that doesn't come out in winter. It doesn't come out in winter. Maybe in autumn, but not in winter. And they chose that day anyway, the 25th of December, because the pagans used to worship the sun god on that day anyway. And they chose that day to worship to call the people away from worshipping the sun, S-U-N, to worshipping the sun, S-O-N. That's what happened. They confused them. They said, come to our religion, come to our path, come to our... And this is what we do. It's the shortest day of the year. That is the 25th of December. This is what they're calling to. So we don't partake in that. So you'll find all the misguided groups, they don't give emphasis to Tawheed and Aqeedah. They don't give emphasis to following the methodology of Rasulullah ﷺ. They are emotional, yes. They want change, yes. But they don't bring about the reasons to bring about change. They don't bring about those reasons that Rasulullah ﷺ showed us, and that the Quran calls us to, and that is going back to worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. There are Muslims around the world who are relying upon other than Allah, going to graves, grave worshipping, setting up whole domes around graves, getting the people to calling upon the dead. And they want salvation. Ali radiallahu anhu said, if this deen was built upon intellect, we would have wiped the bottom of the soul, bottom of the sock, rather than the top. This deen is not based upon your intellect, my intellect. As when they said to Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah, the Hizb al-Tahrir, the political activists, the Muhajirun, whoever they are, they're all the same. They said to Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah, the problem of the ummah is solved by intellect. We have to look at the intellect. So Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah said to them, whose intellect, yours or mine? You got him here. He said, your intellect is different than my intellect. My intellect is different than so-and-so's intellect. Is that what's going to bring us united? Going back to intellect? Or going back to the Quran and Sunnah al-Fahm al-Salaf? Going back to the roots, the usul, the fundamentals of this deen. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. They do not truly believe by Allah. حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُم. Until they make you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a judge in their affairs. ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِّمَّا قَضَيْتَ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. Then they do not have in their hearts any hesitance to accept what you have judged, and they submit to it wholeheartedly. That is the way of salvation. Submitting to Allah Azza wa Jal, following the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you look at all of these groups trying to find a different solution in solving the problem of the ummah, demonstrating, blocking the roads, blocking ambulances, police, causing havoc in the society. Subhanallah, is this the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Demonstrating, shouting out with socialists and all sorts of everyone and anyone, hodgepodge, everyone together? No. Da'wah to Tawheed and Sunnah. Salvation lies is going back to Tawheed and Sunnah. That your short-term solution is not going to do much long-term. It's just going to get some steam or some anger off your chest. But then what? Then you go and see the Fajr, how it's like one row. If you get one row, if that, mashallah. And you see the masajid empty, just in Ramadan they're full. Friday they're full. Mashallah, Eid, more than 1,000 people gathered together. Where were you, akh? in the 11 months. So was it then that we gathered the numbers just for demonstrations then? Which is not a way of the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Or was it going back to worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone? The Sahaba, who could reach their level? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you were to give charity the size of Uhud in gold, you would not even reach the measure of 2 palms put together of what they have done. Not even half of that. That's considering they have only done that, a measure of a palm of good deeds. Look what they have done. They have memorized the Quran, they memorized the Hadith, they carried it, they spread it in their da'wah, they defended the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the various expeditions. Na'am, they spread the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala far and wide. They did all that, and they were tortured. The likes of those in Mecca who were tortured for carrying this da'wah to Tawheed and Sunnah. But they were patient. They were patient. Who could reach? How many Uhuds you need to be at the level of the Sahaba? You will never be able to reach their level. They're the best people ever to be, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. So therefore, what is for us then? We have to try and emulate them, follow them in that which they unite upon is deen. And even that we have people causing doubts. They'd rather follow their opinion than follow ijma' of Sahaba. They'd rather follow their opinion than look at what the Messenger ﷺ was upon. Intellectuals, so-called intellectuals. Intellectuals. Your intellect, can it make you see what's beyond this wall? Can you see beyond this wall? You can't. Your intellect, can it tell us what's happening? Can it tell us about the black hole? Your intellect? They did so many calculations, and we follow science, alhamdulillah, and we look at what's going on out there. They did so many calculations about the black hole. Every time it comes infinity. They don't understand what the black hole is until today. They said it's a receding star. Okay, but there's a space there. What is it? Until now, they can't calculate exactly what it is. Until now. So science is limited. And your intellect is limited. You can hardly see beyond what your eyesight allows you to see. يُكَوِّرُ اللَّيْلَ عَلَى النَّهَارِ. Allah used the word يُكَوِّرُ. He spins night into the day. And that's what's happening. The Prophet ﷺ, Allah described to him in the Quran the affairs of the oceans, about the depths of darkness, that the further you go down, you won't even be able to see your hands. Without he ﷺ even being in the ocean, being in the desert, he knew about these affairs. It's not about intellect. It is about going back to Allah and His Rasul ﷺ. It is about bringing about worship in this world to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. It is about Tawheed. All of these groups, you look at them and you will see there's deficiency. If it's not in Tawheed, you'll find it in Sunnah that they don't follow. You'll find deficiency in one of the two. You find deficiency in one of the two. And they have another thing they're saying going on now. They're saying, don't go to Tesco's. Let's boycott Tesco's, they're saying. This is the latest now on the media, on tweets. Don't go to Tesco's. Why don't go to Tesco's? I'll go to Tesco's, get my milk and bread. Why don't go to Tesco's? Subhanallah, don't go to Tesco's. A whole aisle, they said, a whole aisle where they're selling made in West Bank goods. Jewish goods. Subhanallah. Where were you then when they were... you were still going to Tesco's when they were selling and they continued to sell alcohol. You were still going to Tesco's, weren't you? So just now we stopped going? What about before? So this is not our da'wah. Our da'wah of buying and selling between Jews and Christians is the da'wah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He allowed that and permitted that. All you have to do is go back to the book of buying and selling, Kitabul Buyu' in Bukhari, and you will see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he bought a sheep from a Jew. The Prophet ﷺ, he loaned his armor to a Jew. That is not the da'wah of the prophets, to boycott buying and selling between the Jews and the Christians. That will not bring long-term results. The da'wah of Rasulullah ﷺ is you boycott shirk, you boycott bid'ah, you boycott sins. This is the da'wah of Rasulullah ﷺ. No, you boycott Tesco's. That's going to really bring about really great results. Okay, they removed the aisle there. This is not bringing long-term solution for Palestine. If you want long-term solution for Palestine, go back to your deen. The Prophet ﷺ said, he will permit you humiliation. Sallallahu alaykum dhullan. Hadith in Sunan Abi Dawud, which is sahih. Sallallahu alaykum dhullan. And this hadith is mentioned right after the hadith about Eena, riba. And this is the hadith of Eena, of riba, of usury. There are Muslims dealing in riba, Muslims dealing in usurious transactions. Because of that, Allah and love for the deen, love for the dunya, the people will be, their humiliation will be permitted. Their humiliation will be permitted. Sallallahu alaykum dhullan lan yanzi'ahu ankum hatta tarji'u ila dinikum. Allah will not remove it from you until you return to your deen. Shaykh Muhammad al-Banna rahimahullah from Jeddah, one of the scholars who used to live in Jeddah rahimahullah, passed away, and one of the teachers in Masjid al-Nabawi, Masjid al-Haram, and also in the Jamia Islamiyya. He said, what deen is it that we're going to return to, that problems? Is it the deen of this jama'ah and that jama'ah? No. Because jama'at al-tabligh, for example, the deen that they are calling you to, is what? Is fada'il a'mal. Calling you to good manners. Okay, jazakallah khair. But what's before good manners? Isn't it manners with Allah first? To be upon tawheed? To be upon the correct aqidah? Isn't this that we must rectify first and foremost? When he went with them, he started to tell them how to pray. They said, no, don't tell us how to pray, just tell us to pray and that's it. This is not our da'wah. But what is the da'wah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Isn't it to tell us how to pray, how to fast, how to do zakah, how to believe in Him correctly? This is the da'wah, aqidah. Comes first, if we only knew. The da'wah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is how to worship Allah. It wasn't just worship. Because that's what the Christians do, they just worship. Yesterday they were with organs, now it's tamarines, then maracas. Every day is something new. Before they didn't have gay priests, now you got gay priests, now you got women bishop. Now it's changing as it goes along. And that's the Church of England. And so on, and so on, and so on. Our deen doesn't change. Our deen doesn't change. Orthodox means orthodox. It means that you are usuli, upon the fundamentals of this deen. Yes, we don't call to violence. We don't call to terrorism, like 7/7 and 9/11 and all of this. And we don't call to state terrorism or individual terrorism, whether it's the shoe bomber or the pants bomber. We call to Tawheed and Sunnah. Justice in society. Calling the people to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. This is where salvation lies. Salvation lies in being just. Allah says, قُلْ أَمْرَ رَبِّ بِالْقِسْطِ. Your Lord has commanded you with justice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ. Allah commands with justice and righteousness. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us just in all that we do. That we be kind to our neighbors, whether Muslim or non-Muslim. Because through your actions, you will invite them to Islam before your speech. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us just and kind to those around us, that they will accept the deen. Can't you see Islam is spreading? Can't you see that Islam is spreading far and wide? Walillahi alhamd. The fruits are being there, are growing. Why? Because if it's established upon sincerity, if it's established truly upon the way of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then no doubt you will see the fruits. Fruits is not numbers. Don't be deluded when you see a big mosque. A big Brelvi mosque. Yes, they got money. Big Brelvi mosque upon what? Upon shirk and bid'ah. Ya Allah, Ya Rasulullah. Ya akhi, why, ya akhi? Just say Ya Allah. Why do you have to say Ya Rasulullah? Oh, Messenger of Allah, help us. Why? Call upon Allah. Allah said, call upon Him alone. ادعوني استجب لكم. إن الذين يستكبرون عن عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم داخرين. Those who are too proud to worship me, they will enter the hellfire lowly. وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب. And when my servant asks of me, I am close. أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان. I answer the call of those who call when they supplicate. فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. So let them answer my call. Let them believe in me correctly and answer my call, that they may gain enlightenment to doing good deeds. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, look how Allah made it a condition for your du'as to be accepted, that you are upon the correct belief, that you are upon iman. فَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي. Let them answer the call, and straight away he said, and believe in me correctly. Because without the correct belief, how are your du'as going to be accepted? You're day and night asking Allah, but it won't be accepted. Because you are upon shirk, and you are upon bid'ah, straying away from the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So all political activists, know that you're wasting your time. Know that you are just like a kettle that's boiling, and the steam, when it boils, the steam just is let off. And then when you lift the lid up, it goes down again. Just like a socialist. Oh, political activist, you're just like a socialist. Whenever there's an issue, you jump up and down about it. No. The Sunni, the Salafi, the person of Tawheed, who loves to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's continuous. He's upon Sirat al-Mustaqim. And he has a goal, and that goal is to worship Allah. He gets the fruits in his life, or it doesn't. Ibn Taymiyyah, he died in prison. But look at his books now. Look at his fruits. So many people now are benefiting from his works. Ibn al-Qayyim, likewise. So many people now benefiting from his works. So don't be deluded when you see large numbers upon shirk. It was never a situation of being noble because of large numbers. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He said, لا تجد أكثر الناس ولو حرصت بمؤمنين. You will not find most of people, even if you try hard, you will not find them to be true believers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ. Few of my servants, of my slaves are grateful. So don't be deluded by the numbers, that we are few and there are many. Don't be deluded by that. Because what's good, what's the benefit of being many, large, and you're like the foam of the sea? As the Messenger ﷺ said, there will be large, many, but they will be like the foam of the scum of the sea. Yani, no benefit. That's why Muhammad Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah said, one alim can defeat 1,000 devils. One alim can defeat all of these ignorant people who bring their bid'ah and they bring their shirk. Yes. When Shabab Barat come, mashallah, large numbers. 15 Sha'ban, let's all night worship. Did Rasulullah do it? No. Did Sahaba do it? No. Why are you doing it then? Milad al-Nabi, let's all go out in the streets and let's all... Did Rasulullah do it? No. Did he celebrate it? No. Did the Sahaba celebrate it? No. Why are you doing it then? After 400 years from the Hijrah of Rasulullah, the Fatimiyun, the Shia of Egypt, at that time they invented this bid'ah of Milad al-Nabi. So you are a follower of the Shia then. MashaAllah. And we have Muslims up and down the country. One time we saw even a car with a Kaaba on top of it. MashaAllah, you don't even have to go to the Kaaba anymore. The Kaaba will go around you. I saw that. Did you see it? Kaaba's going around you now. In a car, on top of someone's car. This is true, it's happening. Look at the foolishness in society. Foolishness. Yes, and you got them up north as well, some of those Sufis. Subhanallah, when he touches you, it's like electric current. Subhanallah, what is this? This is ibadah? This is how Rasulullah ﷺ? This is majnoon. This is a person who's crazy, who's possessed. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from foolishness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from innovation. Innovation will only bring about more evil for the Muslim community, more evil and calamities for the Muslims. We complain about Palestine, we complain about, yes, it is sad to see children coming out of rubble, children being bombarded, being killed, 1.6 million living in a small space of only 45 kilometers, not even miles, kilometers. They don't have a bunker to go down. Like in the Jews, they have bunkers. Takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes siren, they're in their bunkers, protected. They don't have that. Living side by side, crowded. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? What shelter are they going to have? So there's definitely oppression going on. And there's definitely silence between the various oppressors who are not aiding the situation. Not speaking against the situation. But what is the solution? The solution is not that. The solution is Surah Nur, verse 55. يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. They worship me and do not commit shirk with me in anything. And you see the worship of the various groups and how they worship. You see it's far away from the Sunnah. You want to see the Ummah? Come for Hajj. Come for Hajj and you'll see the Muslim Ummah. How they are. When they're going past the black stone, it's as if they are flying. Ya akhi, what are you doing? All you have to do is Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. And every time Allahu Akbar, they're going like this. When they go to the Safa, again the same thing. They don't do that. You make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that which the Rasul said. In Marwa, the same thing. They don't know how to worship Allah. And you want salvation. And you want victory. And you want results. And you want fruits. Before a woman gives birth, she has to go through 9 months of labor. Doesn't she? And before you bring about the fruits in your land, you have to cultivate it. You have to prepare it. You have to bring about the results. ترجو النجاة ولم تسلك مسالكها إن سفينة لا تجري على اليبس. You want results. You want success, but you don't tread its path. Indeed, a ship does not sail through dry land. The ship does not sail through dry land. So political activists, they're very hasty. من استعجل شيئا قبل أوانه عوقب بحرمانه. Whoever hastens something before his time is met by not reaching his goal. So be patient and call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and turn back to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day and night. واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه. Be patient with those who call upon their Lord day and night. People of Tawheed, seeking His face subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking His face. Be patient with them. ولا تعد عينك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا. And don't turn your eyes away from them seeking the glitters of this life. What is this life but play and amusement? وما الحياة الدنيا إلا لعب وله وَلَلدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَتَّقُونَ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. And the abode of the hereafter is better for those who are pious. Don't you reflect? Don't you ponder? The deen of Allah is clear. الحلال بين والحرام بين وبينهما أمور مشتبهات لا يعلمهن كثير من الناس. The halal is clear, the haram is clear, and between them are the doubtful matters. Many people don't know them. Shaykh Muhammad bin Hadi says this is proof for the aided group, for Ta'ifat al-Mansura. Because if many people don't know the doubtful matters, that means few people do. And they are the ulama. They are the people of Tawheed. They are the saved group. They are the saved sect. Not Jama'at al-Tabligh, who say come for 40 days. 40 days in a year, 4 months in a lifetime, 3 days. Not them, because they're not calling you to Aqeedah Tawheed, the correct Aqeedah, and how to believe in Allah correctly. They're not calling you to that. They're calling you to masjid, masjid. How to eat, how to drink, how to sleep. Yes, jazakallah khair. But where's the Aqeedah? Where's Tawheed? Where's where's the warning away from shirk and bid'ah? No brother, these things split. No brother. Aqeedah is not split. Tawheed unites. Sunnah unites. Shirk splits. Bid'ah splits. And who said 40 days? And 4 months? And give me one hadith that says that. Who said? I'm going to leave my family for 40 days. I have to try and help my family get to Jannah. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to go to another country as ignorant as I am. I'm going to go to another country and forget about my children. Allah said, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. And that's what's happening. The ignorant are going out. Doing what? Going from house to house. Sometimes you've got 15 people outside a man's house. Akhi, subhanAllah, have mercy. He doesn't even have that many cups in his house to give you tea and biscuits. Have mercy, akhi. One person is sufficient if he's a alim. Alhamdulillah. There's one story that one man, when he saw the amount of people outside his house, he went through the back door. Because he couldn't, what's this? So the Ikhwan Muslimin, the way of Ikhwan Muslimin, of compromising it in, no. It's not going to bring salvation. The Hamas is not going to bring salvation. Hamas, they create more harm than good. They kill one, you get 100 people getting killed. What's the benefit then? Don't you use your brains? If it's not your deen that you're using, use your brain, ya akhi. You kill one, they kill 100. Don't do it. What's the point? And you cooperate with the Shia. You attend their janazah, and you cooperate with them. How are you going to bring salvation cooperating with those who curse the Sahaba? Those who say غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ is Abu Bakr and Umar. This is what they say. Tafsir al-Ayashi of the Shia. That's what they say. How are you going to cooperate with them? You're not going to get it with the political activists. You're not going to get salvation with all of these groups. No, you're going to get it with those so-called suicide bombers who blow up innocent people, who got nothing to do with any war, who got nothing to do, just minding their own business. You're going to blow up a woman pushing a pram. Subhanallah. Salvation is not with that. Salvation is going back to Allah and His deen, and that is justice. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم.